I've been writing a long time. Tiger Boy is my 10th novel for children. I did a school visit today, and I was telling kids about my second novel, which was rejected by 23 publishers. It took 11 years between book 1 and book 2, so I've been around this publishing industry for a long time. So this is a delight. Thank you all so much for this. It means a lot. Tiger Boy is a story that delves into my dad's roots. You know, the subcontinent is famous for storytelling. All of us have an uncle or an auntie or a grandfather who can tell a good story. And so I grew up hearing my dad's stories. He grew up in the villages of Bengal, and he will tell stories about the cobra that nearly killed him, and the crocodile that nearly killed him, and many near-death experiences. But yeah, so whenever I tell that to kids at the end, I'll say, are there any questions? And kids will say, can you tell what happened with your dad and the cobra? They're versed in that. So I grew up hearing a lot of great stories about my dad's childhood. And I like to tell kids that every good story is a weave of 3 different things. They all start with the letter P. So let me see if you guys can guess what those would be. A weave of 3 things that start with the letter P. Anyone want to guess? Plot, right? Something has happened. Place, and what's the good job? People, place, and plot, and whether it's a joke, or a song, or a TV show, or a movie, or a book, look for those 3 things. I tell them to go on a story hunt and find those 3 things. So in Tiger Boy, I set it in the Sundarbans. It's this amazing archipelago, 102 islands, 51 are inhabited by people, yet the rest inhabited by tigers. And of course, the problem is everybody's hungry. The islands are shrinking. So the tigers are hungry and the people are hungry. And this is only 3 hours outside of Kolkata, where I was born. Huge mega city. Every year, 60 or so villagers go into the tiger preserve to find honey and are killed and eaten by tigers. So it's the last place where tigers actually eat people on the planet. On the other hand, there's a lot of poaching that happens, and it's very lucrative. So to sell tiger parts on the black market, still to this day, it's a big problem. We find all kinds of traps and things all around those islands. So when I visited, I hope you all have a chance in your life to go and see this wonderful ecosystem. It's very mystical. There are all these deltas. Everything is a shade of blue. The sky is blue. There's this blue mist that rises up from the tributaries, and all the roots go upward. It's the one place where animals have adapted to drink salt water. Everything is so salty. It's just drenched with salt water. And you see these, you don't actually see the tigers, but you can hear them, and you see these big pug marks on the banks of the muddy shores. So I visited there. I was able to speak Bengali, and which is my mother tongue. So I spoke to a lot of the kids growing up there and did my research and spent the time there. But then I made up the people, right? So that was the place. I had to do really good research for the place because it actually exists. And then the people, the boy Neil is very much like my daddy, as I picture him when he was little. He has a sister who wants to get an education. Unfortunately, education for girls there is still a problem. The Sundarbans is one of the poorest places in India. A lot of trafficking comes out of that region, and children are trafficked out of there. So it's a place where there's a lot of economic pressure to make terrible choices. And that's the plot. If you had to choose between saving a tiger cub that was lost on your island or feeding your family, the choice becomes really murky, isn't it? And so I wanted to explore that with kids, how there's not necessarily that poachers are bad guys and there are good guys and bad guys, because sometimes you have to make these tough choices. So my hope in writing the story is that some of those more nuanced choices a child will be able to understand, and maybe, as all stories do, throw open a window to a faraway place and see ourselves mirrored there with some of the murky choices we have to make. So that's my hope in writing the story. And thank you for this, because hopefully this will get this to more books, my books more into the kids that I love, their hands and their hearts. That's the purpose, right? So thank you so much.